Okay, in this tutorial what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go over a few things dealing with relational operators. So let's take a look at this. If we have P and Q, so P and Q is true if they're both true. True and true is true. True and false is false. False and false is false. False and true is false. False and false is false. So if you're dealing with the AND operator, like this one, it's the only AND operator I have. They both have to they both have to be true. Or if we look, true or true is true, true or false is true, false or true is true, false or false is false. If one of them is true, here's like a quick example. So let's say 8 greater than 6 and 3 less than 2. So 8 greater than 6. That is true. 8 is greater than 6. That's true. And 3 less than 2 is false. So we have true and false. Let's look here. This is the AND. This is the same thing. So true and false is false. This thing would evaluate to false. How about if we did this? How could we make this true? We would say 8 greater than 6 and 3 greater than 2. Now we have true and true yields true. Okay? Let's look at OR real quick. So we have 8 greater than 6 or 3 less than 2. This is true or this is false. So we have true or. Let's look at the OR. That means OR. True or false is true. If one of them is true, which this one is, that whole thing yields true. Now let's take a look what happens if we have some math involved in these operators. Let's do some math involved in these operators. Let's say, let's say we have 6 times 4 greater than, 3 times 2 and 3 plus 2 greater than 1. So we have to do the math. The AND is what you do last. You do the math first. Then you do the logical operators, and then you do the comparison. So we'll do 6 times 4, so it's 24, greater than 6, and that's 5 greater than 1. 24 greater than 6 is true, and 5 greater than 1 is true. So true and true yields true. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this. So let's go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and do number 1. Let's go ahead and do number 1. So we have 5 greater than 6 or 8 less than 10 times 3. Okay, 5 greater than 6 is 5 greater than 6. No, last time I checked. Or 8 less than 10 times 3, it's 30. Okay, is 8 less than 30? Yes. So we have false or true. Let's look at this truth table. False or true yields true. So this thing yields true. So if we were to print this out, it would equal true. Okay? You know what? We'll try to do number 2 here. Let's do number 2. So, hold on. I'm going to just take this one and move it. Because I'm lazy and I don't feel like rewriting it. Okay. So 6 divided by 3. So we're going to do this. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Less than 10 divided by 5 is 2. Or 8 times 3, it's 24. greater than, we have to do PEMDAS, so we do 10 times 2, which is 20. 20 plus 2 is 22. So 3 less than 2. Well, no. 3 is not less than 2. That's false. Or, is 24 greater than 22? Yes. So this thing yields, let's look at our truth table. False or true is true. Okay? Very good. And let's go ahead and do number 3. So we're going to have 2 times 2 is 4, less than 3, or 3 less than 4, and 5 greater than 3. Now here's a little tricky. There's 2 operators. The way we do this is it goes like multiplication. Like for example, if you had 3 times 2 divided by 2, what would you do here? You'd go left to right, because this multiplication and division are on the same level of precedence. So we say 6 divided by 2, you'll get 3. So let's go ahead and do this. 4 greater than 3, that would be true. Or 3 less than 4, it's true. And 5 greater than 3, it's true. True or true is true. So this thing yields true. So we have true and true. True and true yields true. So that means this whole thing equals true. Okay, there's some book work for this, but hopefully this made sense and you're able to make out my handwriting here. I'm writing on a tablet, so it's a little tricky, but it seems pretty good. So just remember, with or, if one of them is true, the whole thing is true. With and, if one of them is false, the whole thing is false. They're basically pretty opposite. The only time and is true is if they're both true. And the only time or is false is when they're both false. And the only time and is true is when they're both true. It's almost like the same table in reverse. It's basically reversed of each other. Except, when they're both true. The others are opposite. Okay? Or they're all false. False or false is false. False and true. False and false is false. False or false is false. Okay? So hopefully that made sense. And go ahead and do the bookwork. I will guide you to that.